Welcome to my channel. Now, I'm really privileged to have been invited up to Westminster for a tool theft talk, if you like, amongst MPs. Amanda Martin, MP from Portsmouth North, has kindly invited myself and lots of other people. We've got trade bodies, we've also got manufacturers, we've got the media to actually come and discuss this terrible problem that's going on in our industry. Tool theft is so rife, it's happened to me over the years, and it happens on a daily basis. So before we go in and have a talk about this, and I'm allowed to film, which is very fortunate, I just want to look behind me at the hammer beam roof, which is here, and it's the largest oak hammer beam roof in the world, something like 250 feet long and about 80 feet wide or thereabouts, commissioned by Richard II. It's absolutely unbelievable. Some of the workmanship in it is hard to imagine that these guys did this work with nothing more than homemade tools, using animals and horses to pull this stuff around, sending it on barges up the Thames. It's absolutely phenomenal. Anyway, we're going to go through, we're going to get some tea and some refreshments, and hopefully we're going to start putting a stop to tool theft. The roof is absolutely awesome. I mean, I'm in awe when I look at this sort of thing. A good friend of mine, someone you obviously know very well from TV, Chris Frediani, is also here. We come together to this. We work together now, don't we, at Fix Radio?
We do, yeah.
Fix is the radio station for the builders, if you haven't listened to it. So Chris looks after the plastering side, obviously, and I do the carpentry side. So what do you think of this roof? Because your son's a chippy.
He is, and Robin, I'm just here thinking, how? Yeah. How did they get this from the ground up there?
It's mind-blowing.
That's exactly what it is. And this wasn't done in modern days. You remember, they didn't have any machinery. No. They were literally butchering up tools to make that beautiful roof. It's stunning.
And how many men would it have taken to actually do that? It's just mind-blowing. What about all of the stonework here and all that sort of stuff? Because is this all stone, or is any of this rum plaster work? Or?
I should imagine it's all stone, been chiselled out. And I was saying to you on the way in, can you imagine saying to your son, you're coming to work with me, and then he finishes his lifespan of work here, and then the next generation, there would have been like 4, 5, 6 generations of families working on this property.
I know, it's hard to get your head around it, isn't it? But so yes, Chris and I, as I say, we're going to head through now and go and see everyone else. It seems surreal being in a place like this. I mean, it's just fascinating, the amount of, just the joinery and the architecture. It's just so mind-blowing. I feel absolutely privileged and honoured to have been invited. It's just a shame it's for such a horrible subject such as tool theft. As I say, it's affected all of us. So I'm just about to go into a part where we can't film. But this will give you an idea of some of the architecture inside here. Let me flick the camera around, you don't want me on this. Yes, absolutely mind-blowing. Look at this. Gorgeous. First things first, have a cup of coffee. A House of Lords cup of coffee. How about that? Nice cup of tea, Chris?
There you go, sir. Can't beat a cup of tea in the morning.
No.
Do you want to eat your wheat?
Not for me, mate, no.
I'm wheat.
Gluten-free, aren't I?
Yeah, last night there was everything you shouldn't eat.
Yeah, I know.
Me you're gluten-free.
I was off duty last night, Chris.
Yeah, on all levels.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. That's Amanda over there. Now, she's basically spearheading this whole campaign, and she's doing a really good job of it, because she comes from a family of builders, I believe, and I think that resonates well with her. This is Steve Baker. Now, Steve is a carpenter and builder just like me, and has also suffered from tool theft. And Stephen, you're here to talk today.
Yeah, I'm here to make it a bit more aware of how it actually affects a tradesman when you have your tools stolen. But not only just having your tools stolen, the mental health side of things as well. I nearly took my own life.
Yeah, and people don't get that, do they?
No.
I mean, we have to struggle to get the work, struggle to buy the tools, and then if you're worried about going to work, someone's going to nick your van.
Well, as you explained that, being a tradesman and running your own company, Everyone thinks, oh, you're only your own boss, you can work your own hours. That's not the case. You end up working every hour off the sun as much as you can. So that's stressful enough as it is, let alone getting to a point where you've now got to worry where you're going to park the van, or where you're going to store your tools, or this, that, the other. I've even got to a point now where I'm hiring a labourer at some points just to stay in the van.
Yeah.
Not to do anything, just to be ahead in the van just in case.
Yeah, and the other thing, like you're here today, I'm here today, and a lot of other self-employed tradesmen here today. No one's paying us to come here today.
No, it's all free. No, we're doing this all off our own back because we've all got the same goal achievement at the end of it, at the end of the day, and we just want to get it stopped.
Why can't we be able to go to work, park our vans, lock them, and not worry? I mean, it should be easy.
It should be easy, and years ago it was. You wouldn't have to worry. You wouldn't even have to worry about putting locks on your van years ago. But people have got more and more ruthless as the years went on. And again, it's not the police's fault.
No.
They're doing everything they can. They're restricted to how much funding they've got to deal with. And if it comes in of your van being broken into and someone being assaulted or stabbed in some worst cases, which is horrible to say, they're going to prioritise that over someone's van being stolen. So it's trying to get in here today to try and get the laws that are tougher, because if the sentencing is tougher, people will double think about actually, is it worth nicking a couple of grand or...
Do you think though, Steve, in the last 5 years it's got quick more and more and more and more? I've never, 5 years ago, it used to happen, but it wasn't on my radar as much.
Yeah, of course. And I would happily, years ago, I'd leave my tools in the van, parked on the main road, and not stress about it. I remember one of my vans had windows all round it, so all you had to do was look for the window. You see absolutely everything.
Yeah.
But I still didn't have that gut feeling or that worry or thinking, oh, when you get a new van, locks, alarms, all this lot.
Yeah.
Now it's got to a point where a van's getting done every 12 minutes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So between this time of us having this conversation now, 2 to 3 vans have already been done.
Absolutely.
And it's not just happening at night while we're asleep.
No.
It's happening at the
Broad
side of the job.
daylight. Yeah, yesterday I saw one on the Stolen Tools Instagram page about a guy who went to play golf, broad daylight, his van's in the golf club car park. You'd think that it would be safe in a golf club car park in broad daylight, and they've done his van over.
Yeah, and it's shocking. It gets to that even in your social life you've still got to panic.
Yeah, of course you
and
can.
it's even got to a point now where us as tradespeople, we even have to double think now at the job. So you get the job come in, we go to quote it, and the first thing you're looking at, secure parking. Where am I parking?
Yeah.
And then, for argument's sake, I'm getting jobs that are coming in that are like a second floor block of flats, and I'm like, no,
I'm not doing it.
Not doing it.
Yeah.
And it's a really good earner,
Yeah.
but it's just not worth that aggro and that risk.
No, unless you can say to your clients, this is the price for the job, and this is the price for the security on our van, because we've got 2 blokes to stand and watch my van.
Which you'll never get the job.
No, you never get the job.
And that's the sad thing about it. And in the client's view, I mean, if something went wrong and your tools do get stolen, you've now got to explain to the client why the job's being delayed and why you can't carry on with the work because you ain't got the tools. But in their eyes, it's not my problem.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the first thing they look at, and it's such a vicious circle. It's constant.
Well, from myself personally and the rest of the community, thanks for taking the time out, mate, and coming down here. And you're going to talk, and that takes a hell of a lot as well. I'm right with you. I'll
I'm
support you all
bricking
the
it.
way.
I'm not even going to lie. I'm bricking it, but it's got to be done.
Yeah. But you know your subject. You speak fantastically as well.
Thank you.
You're going to smash it.
Hopefully.
Thanks a lot, mate.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So this is Frankie Williams, and he runs the famous Instagram page Stolen Tools UK.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Robin.
And you've been doing some amazing work bringing awareness to this campaign.
Yes.
Over 130,000 followers on Instagram now. What made you start that page?
Good question. I was a victim myself 3 years ago. I had nowhere to turn to. I went on Facebook, done a little post. Loads of people came forward, and we thought, let's set up an Instagram page for fun at the time. It just went crazy from there. Many victims daily came forward throughout the years. Every day it's non-stop. We get about 20 to 30 reports a day on break-ins, and it's non-stop. Mental health, everything.
Yeah, and so 20 or 30 a day, that's what you get. And that's without all the others that don't find their way to you as well.
Minimum.
Yeah, it's an absolute nightmare. Anyway, mate, listen, Frankie, it's so nice to meet you again.
Thank you.
We'll have another cup of tea and a chat in a bit.
Thank
all
you.
Right, thanks, mate.
All right, mate.
See so many MPs, industry stakeholders, campaigners and tradespeople coming together for such an important cause. When I was elected to be the MP for Portsmouth North last July, I knew that I wanted to take on a campaign that would make a real difference to my constituents. It didn't take long before one of these issues stood out. Across other parts of the world, Europe, America, Australia, they regard tradespeople as craftspeople, and they have such a high regard in communities. Thieves act with impunity, knowing that the consequences, if they even get caught, are minimal, and that has to change. In preparing this private members bill, I reached out to my own constituents to hear their experience, and what they shared was heartbreaking. One constituent lost over £10,000 worth of tools, and it took him 6 years to replace them, and no arrests were ever made. He struggles emotionally now with the toll of that loss, and is constantly worried about his van being broken into. Another tradesperson actually caught thieves drilling into his van, only to see them shrug off and just stare at him and say, as if, what the hell are you going to do about it? Because the consequences wouldn't amount to much. But these stories aren't rare. They are happening in every corner of this country, every single day. And it's time that we got together and did something about it. That's why I brought in December my 10-minute bill to push for sentencing in reform. Right now, I don't know whether you know, but guidelines focus only on the value of the stolen goods. If your tools are worth less than 10 grand, thieves often get nothing more than a community order, which does not reflect the harm that this crime does. My proposed bill asks for 2 changes. The sentencing guideline document gives examples of what might constitute significant additional harm when considering crime theft. Theft of tools of the trade should be added to this list of examples to prompt magistrates to consider applying the higher harm category of 2 instead of the usual category of 3. And then these crimes can be taken more seriously when they get to court. Sentencing should also factor in the total financial loss and the impact, not just the cost of the stolen tools, but also van repairs and the loss of incomes. So instead of saying financial loss, we need to say financial losses. This means that we can make real deterrence, and instead of giving a community order, we could be moved to 6 months to 2 years in prison. That means it will be a seriousness to do with the level of the crime. So how do we make this happen? I need your support to make this happen, and coming here today was a great start. We've launched a petition, and you'll see over there on the QR code, and we've got some leaflets around for you to take, and also you can find it on my Instagram, to gather as many signatures as possible before I lay this bill before Parliament. If you've not already signed today, please do so. Please take paper copies from the room. Please spread the word, put it out on all of your social medias. I would also encourage everyone here to raise this with their own MPs. Go and meet your MPs, take tradespeople with them, and tell them what a blight it is on your lives and your livelihoods. Today's event is a great opportunity to continue the momentum that we've started with this petition. I'd really like to thank our sponsors, Checker Trade and On The Tools, without whom today this could not have happened. I'd like to thank my fabulous team, the Pompey crew, and also my Parliament crew in here as well. They are here on hand to help you, and without them, I wouldn't be standing here either. Finally, I'd like to thank Ray from VanWatch for contributing valuable research to my bill. Oh yeah, I'm pushing off. And all the other brilliant campaigners and activists on the issue of tool theft. Thank you for taking the time out of your very busy lives to attend. I know many of you have spent years campaigning and to tackling this problem. My bill has its first reading last month, and it's scheduled for a second reading on the 25th of April. This is our chance to put pressure on Parliament to act. I have opened discussions with ministers, including the Secretary of State for Justice, about sentencing reform, and we have also opened conversations with the Sentencing Council. This is the real interest in this is making this happen. And beyond tool theft, I'm also working on broader issues affecting tradespeople, elevating the status of our apprentices, supporting small businesses, and ensuring that our construction industry sector remains strong and in fact grows stronger. As the daughter of a plumber, the granddaughter of a painter and decorator, and the sister of an electrician, and loads of cousins that are builders, I know how vital tradespeople are to our economy and our communities. They build our homes, they fix our pipes, they keep our country running. The very least they deserve is to work without living in fear that their livelihoods could be stolen overnight. It's time to send a clear message. Tool theft will not be tolerated. Thank you all so much for being here today, and let's together keep pushing for change. Thank you.
So I've been really lucky to have a couple of minutes with Amanda. Now Amanda, you are a tireless campaigner for the building trade, and I've never really been into politics much. I've never had time for it as a self-employed tradesperson, but I really like you, okay? And I'm gonna put it out there. I just think what you're doing is fantastic. Now, I've filmed all of that, and I'm gonna put a little bit of what you said in this video, okay? Was it just because your family are in construction that you really felt like getting behind this?
I just think it's, you know, as a government, we've got a plan to build 1.5 million new homes, right? As a government, we are changing the way that people think about apprenticeships by removing the need for English, Maths, GCSE for something. And then, as a government, we've done things around looking at the changing of what apprentices so we can get skilled people in. But what's the point in getting those people in if we're going to lose them the other end through either leaving or through, worse still, suicide? And then once you begin to unpick, you see, actually, we have to solve this. It is people's lives. It's not just their drill's been nicked. It's their entire lives. Their van's been broken into. Their lives have changed. Their business crumbles. They're employing other people. And for far too long, they've had to do that on their own. And when you come into politics, I know you said you've never really been into politics, but every decision and things that happen to you in your life is decided by politics. And when I was a school teacher, you can like change one kid's life. You can help, you can make a difference. But actually, when you're in positions of power and you're in government, you need to use that for the benefit of people. And people in my city, people in cities, rural crime as well, in tool theft. We need to stand up for those people.
Yeah, we do. You got a little bit emotional in your speech, and I got emotional straight away. And it's like, what the hell? And even when Steve spoke as well, I was getting emotional, and it's because it really matters to us. You know, as a chippy, someone on the tools, I can't get my head around it. I would rather take a parking fine and park on a single yellow or double yellow line under a camera than risk my van being done. I turn down jobs as well because I think I'm just not going there. First question is, whereabouts do you live? And I go on Google Maps, sorry, I can't help you. Why not? I can't park anywhere near your job. They go, oh, you know, and they can't get their head around it. So I feel sorry for the general public as well. And there is a shortage of skilled tradespeople, and we need to encourage people. That is a really good career.
Yeah, it is.
In other parts of Europe, tradespeople are so respected. They're considered to be like lawyers, MPs, doctors. You know what I mean?
Well, exactly. I mean, in America, Australia, Europe, they're craftspeople. They're treated with so much more respect and actually not taken for granted. And you know, I think we just take them for granted because everything we do, we just expect it to be done. Our schools are built, they're maintained by tradespeople. The roads that we go on, my uncles are tarmackers. You know, they complete the roads that we're in. My dad was a plumber. My brother's an electrician. All of these people make us, you know, help us live our lives.
Yeah. Well, any of your family here today?
No.
No. Okay. Well, they're going to be super proud of you anyway, and we all are as a collective as well. And I know you've got a whole queue of people here, so thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
And anything I can do as well, reach out.
Well, I would say to anyone, sign the petition, share the petition, go contact your own MPs, raise the concerns that you have got with this job and the impact of it, so that we can make people see the real extent of this crime.
Yeah, so I'll put a link to that petition in this video description as well. Make sure you check it out, make sure you share it as well, and I'll catch you again soon.